Now hush now, darling. Pull that quilt up round your chin and let that sweet tea settle. It's time I told you something mighty important. Something older than the kudzu vines and deeper than the pond down by Catfish Corner. This here's the story of the very first firefly, and how a single act of kindness lit up the world, and gave birth to a little place we now call Sugartree Hollow. Long, long ago, back before there was a chapel on the hill or a path through Firefly Holler, back before Miss Jubilee ever sang her first hallelujah, and way before Pickle Pete started stirring up trouble. The nights were darker than a coal miner's boot. No moon worth mentioning, no stars that stayed still long enough to count on, just shadow and stillness, like the world was holding its breath. Folks back then, they learned to walk slow and listen close, but oh, how they wished for light. Now there was a little girl, no bigger than a butter churn, lived at the edge of the woods, didn't have much except a heart too big for her britches, and a way of speaking to the trees like they was kinfolk. One night, as she wandered past the creek, right where the moss grows thick and the rocks hum when it rains, she saw something fall from the sky. Not just any something, child. A star. It came dancing down, slow like, twirling and spinning like it was caught in a dream. And wouldn't you believe that little girl caught it, right in a jelly jar, holes poked in the lid with a spoon. It shone like heaven's smile, all silver blush and honey gold, lit up her whole room like 1,000 Christmases at once. But after a few days, the star's light started to dim. It flickered like a candle in a windstorm. The jar grew cold, and that sweet little girl, she felt a sorrow deeper than the well behind Granny Maybell's house. So she sat by her window and whispered, "I'm sorry, little light. I didn't mean to cage you." Then she twisted off that lid and held the jar out to the night, and wouldn't you know, that star didn't just float back to the sky. It burst into 1,000, maybe 1,000,000 tiny lights. They scattered like sugar in the wind, each one glowing, blinking, laughing as they spun into the trees, the meadows, the hollers, and right then and there the first fireflies were born. From that night on, the dark wasn't so lonesome. Folks could walk by their light, dance under 'em, wish on 'em. And that little girl, she never caught nothing in a jar again. She just watched and smiled and told her story. And every firefly since then, they say, carries a flicker of that very first star, a reminder that light ain't something to keep, it's something to share. So remember, Sugar Bean, kindness multiplies. One good deed can light up the whole world. Now close them eyes and let the fireflies keep watch. The hollow's waiting in your dreams.